Welcome to the Verdin Verdict Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verdin. Got my guy G-Sportz in the cut with me on a Sunday, G. We ain't never did this before. We did a Saturday stream. We did a Friday stream. We have never done a Sunday stream, G.
Hmm.
I know everybody's seen the news. Everybody's been commenting. Everybody's been reacting. Now it's our turn. Brian Kelly, the buyout. Term still being negotiated, as you see, per LSU's official statement that just got released here, hot off the press. But LSU Athletics has made the decision to separate with football head coach Brian Kelly. Gee, sound off, react. I know we've been talking about it all week, man, but look, it's here. It's official. What's your thoughts?
You had to know it was coming. I would be lying if I said that I thought it was going to come this early. I thought that they would give him an opportunity to get that offensive staff in check. Maybe part ways with Joe Sloan, part ways with Brad Davis, part ways with Cortez Hankton, bring some other guys in,
Yep.
like a Tommy Reese from the Cleveland Browns, who we had at Notre Dame to be his OC, and see what they could do next year. But obviously, Scott Woodward had a lot of pressure from boosters, alumni, powerful people that's affiliated with LSU, and he had to make a decision. And so what you seen take place in Death Valley last night with the A&M fans and the band and the cadets taking over Death Valley, bro,
Embarrassing.
unacceptable, embarrassing. I've never seen it before, and you knew that something was gonna happen on today. You
And
had to know something was gonna happen on the day, bro. Like watching it, it's like the standard is the bar is so high at LSU, bro. We gonna let A&M hasn't won at LSU since 1994,
and the
and
entirety
we
of them being in the SEC.
and we allow these people to come in our stadium in the boot in Death Valley, a sacred place in all of college football. We Curb Harris Street, Nick Saban, et cetera, has alluded to how this is one of the most prominent venues in all of college football. And you come take over, our trap. Yeah, like when I saw that, I knew a change had to be made, and Skyward made the change. Um, you know, from what I've been told, the meetings started at 11 a.m. this morning, and the biggest thing is they trying to figure out what will be Brian Kelly's buyout. We all know that he's owed 52 million if he's fired. I'm told that, don't quote me on this, but I'm told that they trying to get him to agree to getting 40% of his buyout. So, I'm not a math person.
23 million.
Yeah, 40% of 52 million is $23 million,
Right around
which
there.
would be $5 million more than they gave Coach Orgeron when they told him to kick rocks. And so a lot led up to this, man. You can't get blew out at home by Texas A&M by that margin. It's just it can't happen. I remember being in the house for Bama last year. I want to say it might have been the same score.
Let's see.
I think Bama beat them 45-14
I could tell
last
you it
year.
was the same weather.
Well, no, it was raining way more for Bama last year.
42 to 13 for
Yes,
last season.
yeah, very, very, very similar. And for you to lose by that margin 2 years in a row, something has to change. And for the people that's watching, man, I'm gonna say this, man. I've gotten a chance to really get to know Brian Kelly in these last 4 years. I think he's a good dude. I think that he's a good coach, and I think that Scott Woodward made a decision when they got rid of Orgeron to go get the most winningest coach out of all the active coaches, and he thought that was going to put a band-aid on his program and get him to back to prominence. But at the end of the day, you know, and when I'm saying this, I'm not trying to get a pat on the back. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm a know-it-all or I'm Nostradamus, as we joke around about. But I said this when they hired Brian Kelly, man. I thought that it wasn't a good hire. He's a guy from the Midwest. He coached at Notre Dame, Grand Valley State, Cincinnati. It's different in the South. It's different. Kids are different. The culture is different. And I thought that when he came to the, I don't know if it was the girls' basketball game or the boys' basketball game, when they put him on a microphone and he talked at halftime, trying to talk like he was Cajun.
About his family.
Bro,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I thought that was an instant red flag when I saw him do that. You was trying too hard, Brian BK. You was trying too hard. And then look, I get it. You want to be accepted by the South. You want to be accepted by the LSU community. You want to be accepted and be looked at as this guy. And you say you came here to win championships, but it was something that you was missing when you decided to come here to win championships. You forgot. Well, let me correct myself. Not forgot, but you never really understood the culture. You never really understood that these kids are different. And I understand the NIL and the transfer portal plays a big part into when you building a program. And you came in at a time where the portal and the NIL era was kind of just started surfacing. I get it. I understand it. But you just never got on board with it. I can remember when he first took the job and he put Mason Smith out of practice because he was cursing. Bro, it's a violent game. It's football. Guys are going to throw the F bomb around. Guys are going to say things that you might not be accustomed to hearing in the corporate world, right? And I don't understand you was at Notre Dame, but that's the culture of the South, bro. This is a state of poverty for the most part. Not saying the whole state is from poverty, but a lot of kids that you recruiting are from poverty, and so they are full of emotion. They full of anger. They full of childhood trauma, and you gotta understand that, bro. You gotta understand that, and um, I would never act like I'm excited about Brian Kelly losing his job and getting this kind of ridicule and getting this kind of scrutiny that he's getting. But I think Scott Woodward made the right decision.
Yeah, the thing that I'm kind of thinking about, my off the cuff reaction is going to be here's how I feel. Trudez Green, he's probably going to enter that portal. Caden Durham, he probably going to enter that portal. You're going to lose a lot of the talent that you're feeling confident about going towards the future. Everything that you kind of built now is jeopardized. And the initial reaction I had too when you're hearing all these rumors circulate is the fact that now, flash forward, okay, 4 years ago, you buy out Coach Orgeron, you bring in the winningest coach. Now, G, you're buying out Brian Kelly and you're looking for another coach to bring in. So you're in the same spot. Not much progress has been made. And then you're like in the middle of a limbo because you could go get an underproven coach where you don't have to pay as much, but then you don't really know what you got. Or you go and get a Lane Kiffin or a Nick Saban and you throw a bag at them. And now you're almost in a similar situation. So it's really tough for me to judge how I feel about it because the terms are still being negotiated, like we highlighted on the screen. If the buyout's 20 million, all right, cool, or 23 million, I can live with that. If it was its entirety of 52 million, now it's going to be a little bit more stressful in terms of figuring it out, especially with the amount of pieces that you're going to have to replace on the coaching staff, in the transfer portal, from the team. I mean, it makes sense why you're raising the ticket prices now, because if you do quick math on that, you got 100,000 people in the stadium, G, $40 a person. You just found $4 million out of nowhere every season. So it's like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
putting the pieces together. Here's the question I want to ask, though. I know it's too early to tell. We're going to have a better sense of it tomorrow. My first dream hire, number one candidate for any job, Penn State, Florida, whatever, it's Lane Kiffin, bro. I think he's got a great grasp of this era of college football. I love his humor. I love his moxie. I like that he can walk into a situation and just command it. You know what I mean? And he's doing it in Oxford. And Ole Miss isn't a horrible program. Yeah, it's a great SEC school. Gee, I don't even want to know what he would do at Florida or LSU. And I think that's my dream candidate. And I know you got another one, but right now, with everything kind of shaking up, where do you think this is going to go? Because it seems like it could go in a lot of different directions.
We're gonna have to play back these clips. because I don't want people to think that, oh, you waited till this happened to start saying this. I've been saying this.
Hey, look, I'll be the witness. It wasn't even just SEC media days either. I was telling somebody this before we went live. It wasn't even just Atlanta when people were talking about, oh, Nick Saban might come back into coaching. It was before that. I'll give you your flowers. It was way before that. That was my first reaction to you
I've
too.
been saying this, bro.
And it's an interesting
Saint
call.
Nick. Saint Nick. If I'm Scott Woodward and I know President Tate left and went to Rutgers University, I don't even think LSU has a chief of staff right now because Beth, she resigned. It's a lot going on in that building at LSU that people don't know about. But if I'm Scott Woodward, if I'm Frank Wilson, which I can make an argument for Frank Wilson to have an opportunity to be the next head coach, but that's neither here nor there. But if I'm Scott Woodward, if I'm anybody of the higher ups, if I'm Ty Graves, if I'm anybody that donates a ton of money to this LSU program, I'm going to pull up to Miss Terry. Miss Terry, I don't even want to meet with Nick. I want to meet with Miss Terry one on one, and then after I meet with Miss Terry one on one, I can meet with y'all together. Miss Terry, listen, your husband has publicly said on a pivot that one of his biggest, if not his biggest regret, is leaving LSU. Come back home, come make it right. For what I'm told, he has property in Baton Rouge or Louisiana.
Yep.
He has a few businesses in Baton Rouge and Louisiana. Come make it right. We're gonna make it worth your while.
Hey,
Whatever number y'all want, we giving it to you. But the only key is we're not gonna give you a 10-year deal like we did Brian Kelly. Right? Nick Saban is what, 70 years old?
it's a little over that. So I mean, yeah,
Look,
you getting like 3.
we gonna give you a 4-year window. We're gonna make you the highest paid coach in college football. Kirby Smart, the highest paid, right?
Yeah, around 13.
13. We're
It's
gonna
either
give you 15,
Kirby or Ryan Day.
whatever. We're gonna give you 15 M's a year for 4 years.
Mhm.
You can't tell me that Nick Saban won't win a national championship in these 4 years. 4-year window. Miss Terry, give me 4 years.
Tur.
What, what you need? How many on the field passes you need? How many suites you need? What tell me what you want.
How many houses? How many cars? Like, let's do everything.
We
Let's do
gonna we gonna
everything.
we gonna make it very feasible for you and your husband. And guess what? Nick gonna do whatever Miss Terry say. I think Miss Terry loves Baton Rouge. I think she loves Louisiana. I think she loves LSU. I think Nick, not think I know Nick Saban loves LSU. You know, people that I know that played for Nick and has had very intimate conversations with Nick Saban said that he would be open to the opportunity to coming back to Baton Rouge to coach the LSU Tigers. I think you got to throw the kitchen sink at him, bro. You got to.
And I think it's
I
a
like,
realistic possibility. Like, I don't even think it's that much of a pipe dream no more. When I first heard it, I'm like, man, that'd be awesome. But I was in La La Land, and I didn't think it
bro,
was a possibility.
bro.
Now it seems like it really could happen. I wouldn't be surprised now.
Why does he keep publicly saying how much he loves LSU and how much he
And
regrets leaving? Why does he keep saying that? I think you
that,
gotta pay attention to the signs.
and then this is a better sign too. Is that's a great sign. The sign that I sent you with the game day quote, where he's talking about the fact that he's not interested in coaching, but Miss Terry gets interested when she hears the numbers. Gee, that's a negotiation tactic. Buddy wants more money. He's not saying, I'm done. I like this TV gig. I'm sure he likes it. He's not at the crib, G, playing golf on the couch. He's still working. He's still planning for games like he would, even if he's just doing a college game day set. He said he's still watching film. He's doing the film breakdowns live on television. He's still living that life. He's not really slowing down yet. So, I mean, for him to be able to switch gears and come to LSU, it wouldn't be that much of a change of speed. And then that last point, like I was saying, he openly admitted on national television, Miss Terry has a price. There's a number. There is a value that you could put out there on a blank check, and she would gladly cash it. I could see this
And
happening.
look, as much as I think Nick Saban is the GOAT and he would instantly come in and change the whole landscape of things at LSU, like how much money do Nick Saban and Miss Terry need, bro? Y'all paid. Like, it's not like y'all gonna be able to see this money come to fruition in the next 25 years, bro. Y'all, Nick Saban 70, Miss Terry, I mean, she looked like she about 40, but I don't know how old she really is. She look good for her age.
Saban net worth is 200 million.
That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all, like, I think that's just all talk. When you talk about they saying give us a number. I think LSU is the one place that money don't matter. I think they love the culture. I think that with them coming out with it's gonna be a cap on the NIL, the portal kind of changing. Is no spring portal. You got a portal right after the season for 10 days from the national championship. I think the national championship on January 8th or something like that, January 7th. You
Yeah.
got 10 days from the national championship to figure out what you want to do in the portal. They're starting to have some regulations and some guidelines to what's going on in college football. And I think that would make Nick Saban feel like he could implement his process. And so I'm throwing the kitchen sink at him, bro. I'm all calls on deck. Scott Woodward, man, you done had conversations plenty of times. Man, call me, man. Put me on the PG, and let's go to Miss Terry and Coach Saban
Making
because
that grandfather offer, man.
I'm gonna have some information and some jewels and some nuggets that Scott Woodward might not have that might entice Miss Terry and Nick Saban for him to come back on home to Baton Rouge. My second candidate would definitely be Nick Lane Kiffin. I think he's hot. I think what he has done at Ole Miss has been phenomenal. I think he's learned a lot from when he was at a head coach at Tennessee, USC, the Raiders.
Yep.
Going back to coach under Saban and things of that nature. You got to see what's up. But I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't know what LSU fans are looking at. If you don't get Lane Kiffin or Nick Saban, me personally, I won't be excited about whoever else they hire.
Nah, this is a fork in the road moment, G. Like I'm not gonna lie to you because this could go two ways. This could be a night you remember LSU's program changing forever. Because if you hire the wrong person and all these people leaving the portal and you got all this money thrown around, paying BK around 20 something, hiring all these people for 50, let's say another 20 in the portal. Next thing you know, you spend $100 million in an offseason. And if it don't work, if you bring in the wrong guy and you keep having seasons like this and boosters get reluctant and it's gonna be a lot of change, and
You
I'll
you
double down
hire
on
listen,
this.
listen, you hire Nick Saban or Lane Kiffin, a lot of those guys gonna stay. You're gonna still have a few that's gonna get in the portal, but a lot of those guys, Trey Green, he gonna chill out. Caden
That's my
Durham,
number one worry. Is
yeah,
him,
Caden
Trey
Durham, I
Green.
think he goes nowhere. DJ Pickett, I think he stays put.
Oh, I
I
ain't
think
thinking
uh,
about
I
that.
think I think your main guys stay put, bro. If Nick Saban or Lane Kiffin gets this job.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back on that previous comment I just said 1 second ago. Trey Green is my number two worry. DJ Pickett is my number one worry. Oh my lord. Now I'm gonna be up all night. All right, G. Had to do a quick emergency stream, man. I don't like doing these, bro. We'll be back live Monday at 1 o'clock. Appreciate your time. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. We had a few people on the YouTube, but bro, at one point we had 90 people on the Facebook, man. Come on, the Facebook popping, bro. Let's go. Oh Lord. Somebody in the chat said, pause, think he's what? Whenever you said Lane Kiffin's hot. They want to hit you with the no Diddy. No Diddy. Nah. All right. Appreciate your time. Thank y'all for reacting. Y'all have a good one, man. We'll be back live tomorrow at 1. Later, G.
For sure.